Hi everyone, and welcome back to another retro cooking recipe. We are still on our second winter of 1976, still the bicentennial. We are still in Boston. This is the second winter that we are talking about. Lenora Smith, she won this for her whole wheat raisin loaf. And not only did she win the $25,000 from Pillsbury, but her local grocery store said that if anybody wins and they shop at that store, they would match the $25,000. So Lenora walked away with $50,000. And the odds, she just lost her bookkeeping job 2 weeks before the contest. So how great is that? Everything happens for a reason. So let's get to that table. Let's see what's all the ingredients that's in Lenora's whole wheat raisin bread loaf. All right, ingredients we need to make our raisin bread. 2 to 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 3 cups in there, but it gets broken down into, first we're going to use 1.5 cups, but I've already got measured out that. 1/2 cup of sugar, 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon of salt. 3 teaspoons equals a tablespoon. This is 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. We need 2 packages of yeast. And then we need 2 cups of milk, 3/4 cup of water, 1/4 cup of oil, 4 cups of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of oats, 1 cup of raisins, a tablespoon of butter melted. I'm sure this is going on the top. You could also put a teaspoon of sugar with that. So let's get this. We have to get this in a large mixing bowl, and then we're going to heat our liquids. Remember, we don't want to go above that 120 degrees so we don't kill our yeast. So let's get this in our mixing bowl and our mixer and get this stuff heated to activate our yeast. All right, so in my bowl, I have 1.5 cups of the flour. We're going to add our 1/2 cup of sugar, our 3 teaspoons, 1 tablespoon, just 1 tablespoon of salt, our teaspoon of cinnamon, and our 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. And then we are also going to add our 2 packages of yeast. So let's get our yeast in there. And then we are going to want to take our liquids into a saucepan and heat those up to between 120 and 130 degrees is where I like to stay. So let's get that heated so we can activate our yeast. All right, so in my saucepan, I have my 2 cups of milk, my 3/4 cup of water, and then my 1/4 cup of oil. We want to heat this to either, well, between 120 and 130. So we're going to get out our instant read thermometer. See where we're at now. We just put it in here, so it's going to be cold. Yeah, we are only at 82 degrees. So we're going to watch this and get this between 120 and 130. We don't want to go over that 130 mark. All right, 129. So I'm going to stir this a little bit and let it cool down. I think I'm hitting the bottom of the pan. But we are in between that mark. So then we want to add this to our flour. Let's go get it to our flour. All right, so we got all of our, well, the 1.5 cups of flour mixture here that we did. We are going to pour all of this into here. Then we are going to get this moistened. Get it moistened, and then we're going to turn it on and let it go for about 3 minutes. And then we'll add more flour, our whole wheat flour, our oats, and our raisins. All right, so let's make sure this is all mixed together well, and then we'll add our other ingredients. All right, so I switched to a dough hook. We are now going to add, we're gonna stir in the 4 cups of whole wheat flour. I'm gonna add some of that to this, and the oats. So we wanna stir that in. I'm gonna get a couple cups of that in here right now. I'm going to put in, we're gonna put all 4 cups in there eventually. I'm just gonna stir this in and slowly add the rest of those 4 cups. Plus then I'm going to add like half a cup of the all-purpose flour and also our raisins. We're gonna wanna get that in there also. So I'm just gonna kind of slowly add this whole wheat flour in here. I'll get you back when we got it all in. Okay, so all of the whole wheat is in here. We're gonna add our raisins. I just wanna make sure that this is just on a stir. So we're gonna add that cup of raisins in there. And then we also want to add about, it says 1/4 to 3/4 cup of flour. I have a half a cup here. So we're gonna just add some more white flour. We just really want this pulling away from the bowl. So I'm gonna test it, pull it down, test it, see where it's at, and see if I wanna add more white flour to it or not. Or I can just, as I need it a little bit, I will add some white flour. Okay, so this is coming away from the bowl. That's all that they wanted. I do have some flour here and this leftover flour here. We're going to pull this out and then knead this, knead the flour into it. So I have just put some of this flour down and I am just gonna knead this for a little while and make sure that it's not sticky. It's just really nice and elasticy. And then we're just gonna keep adding some of this flour. It's almost there though, I think. It's not sticking to my hands anymore. So I'm just gonna knead this a little while and then I'm going to put it into a greased bowl and then we're gonna let it rise. All right, so I've got my bowl oiled. I did end up getting all of that white flour into here. So there is the total of 3 cups. We got some nice elasticity happening here. So we're gonna put this into our bowl. We are going to let this rise 20 to 30 minutes. Cover it up. I'll probably put some plastic wrap on it and this, let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes and then we'll punch it down. All right, so our dough is nice and doubled. We are gonna punch this all down and then we are going to split it in half. And we've got 2 oiled pans here that we're gonna put it in. So let's get this nice and punched down. I'm gonna pull it out of here. I just really wanna, they say to really punch down this dough. So get all the air out of it. Now we're gonna cut it in half and get it into our pans and then let it rise again. Let me get something to cut that in. Okay, so I made them into some loaves here. We're gonna cover these up and let these rise again for about another 30 minutes. Okay, here are our nice, lovely loaves. They've risen beautifully. We're gonna put these into our 375-degree oven for 40 to 50 minutes. If they get too dark, by all means, cover them with some aluminum foil. We want to make sure when we tap them, they sound hollow. So let's get these in our oven. All right, so we want to immediately remove these from our pans when they come out of the oven. They sound nice and hollow. And then we want to let these cool on a rack for an hour and a half. All right, I am going to brush some butter on top of these. Get them all nice and glossy. And then I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of sugar on them. And then we're going to cut into them, see what they taste like. Yum, yum. Okay, my thoughts on Lenora's raisin bread. You know, it was good. I'm just not a fan of raisin bread, but all in all, it was easy enough to make, had good flavor. If you needed raisin bread, I mean, you know, toast it. I actually had just made apple butter a couple weeks ago, not a Pillsbury recipe, but I made it in the crock pot. So the raisin bread with the apple butter on it was actually really good. So if you would like the recipe for the crock pot apple butter, it takes like 12 hours to make. But that, again, super easy. You're just putting it all, apples and your brown sugar and all that stuff into your crock pot and just letting it go. So if you would like that, leave a comment and I will make sure that I put that in the comments. But with that being said, this is Lynn from Halen Vintage. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that happy stuff, you guys. I'll see you real soon. See you next week. Don't forget, live sale tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Take care.